Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a new knife to show you from Ketuo. Look at this giant box. This is the Soulstone B from Kevin Toole, who happens to be the Beard of Doom. M390 titanium. Let's check it out. Now, if you guys don't know the Beard of Doom, I'll try to remember to link his channel. Check it out. He is a character in the knife world. And he loves big ass, crazy ass, alien dinosaur themed shit, okay? And so he designed something with that in mind, I think. I've seen this before, so here's the specs. It's a 3.85 inch blade length, TIC coating, so titanium carbon, I believe, so it's a black coating. I'm pretty sure that just means PVD. PVD is the process, but that's the actual material the coating is made out of. Handle length 5.11, and yeah, 8.49 ounces. Holy shite. That's great. All right, let's see what's in here. We get a cloth. What are these? We get, like, are these dice? They're dice, but they're up to 20? Is that what that is? I see a 20, so that's wild. Never seen that before. Okay. Looks like you get a necklace, too? What is going on? Oh, okay, there's a bead on the bag. That's interesting. Look at that. A little gold bead. They're really setting this one up. And there's some hay in here. If you have a horse or something, you could feed them. Okay, just be warned, folks. Be warned. Doom, doom, doom. Doomy, doomy, doomy. All right, let us put this stuff back. I think I'm going to keep these dice. My kid might like these. I'm going to pass the knife around, so privileges of being the guy that adds stuff to pass around. Sometimes I can take dice out. Let me wipe this off. It's all old. Oh my god, this thing is an absolute chunk, dude. Ah, boy, oh boy. Look at this thing, dude. That is a chunky boy. For reference, here's the Divo Knives Chaser that is dropping today, I believe, at 1 p.m. Eastern. You know, it's just a little thicker. It's not like, you know, the blade is basically the same thickness as the Chaser. So you have a front flipper tab with no jimping. Interesting choice there. You have a fuller, I'm assuming, for the flicky. And you have a blade that is dead centered. So they centered the shit out of it. The clip is a big old clip, but it looks like they got the thickness right, so the tension's not going to be crazy. Seems pretty good, actually. Little lanyard, snot nose pig back there. Little pig nose lanyard hole, that's what I call them. Sorry, I don't know why I added the snot. Now, you know, most people know this, but usually you don't want to go triple poon, you know? You don't want to go triple poon. Some people have gone double poon before and gotten away with it, but triple poon? That's some risky business right there. Look at that. All right, you guys ready? Let's see if I can flick this thing. Oh, that was nice. That snapped out of there. Dude, it's very well made. Very well made. Ketuo did a great job with that. I do believe Doom works with Ketuo. So I've seen him at shows working their booth at the Reich Ketuo booth. So that's awesome. Nice reverse flick. I mean, I even was able to do it left-handed, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this thing is basically just ridiculous. You know, And I think it's meant to be ridiculous. Now, it's certainly not my style. I would classify this as alien. Yeah, I don't know if it's quite dinosaur-y. Doom had a knife that was really dinosaur-y looking one time, and this doesn't look like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like an arcane knife mixed with a just Reich alien wildness type stuff. It's definitely up Doom's alley, that's for sure. Stupid thick, like just ridiculous thick. Like if you're buying this knife, you like ridiculous, right? I don't think anybody's looking at this knife and being like, that's freaking just sexy gorgeousness right there, right? Personally, I think it's, I don't want to say the word ugly, but you know, but at the same time, it's kind of cool, you know. I've never actually handled it, and I was kind of worried about this review. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see if I can flick it. Oh, look at that. Why is there no jimping though? Why no jimps? Just because we're Neanderthals and we can just grab it? I can't even do it because there's no jimping. The front flip's actually pretty easy because you have to use your entire arm to open it. Shit, I lost my train of thought. I don't know what the hell I was saying. It's actually not uncomfortable in the hand. Yeah, I'd never actually handled it. Oh, I was a little worried about this review because I really like Doom. You know, I've always been a fan of Doom, or the bod. Even going back to the days when I was into fidgets, and he was, I don't know if he still is into fidgets, and he would post videos and shit of him fidgeting while he's like taking a dump. Like dumps with Doom. Doomy dumps. He's just a character. But I've always liked the guy, and I didn't want to get his knife in and then like hate it and just, you know, because I'm always honest with you guys. So I'm definitely going to be a little biased because I like Doom and I want him to succeed, obviously. But I can definitely be honest with you guys and say this is not for me. This is not my style of knife. I would not spend money on this knife. It's, in my opinion, a bit ridiculous because it's super chonk and it's triple pooned, and the handle and the blade are like, I mean, you missed a poon right here in the handle. I don't know what happened there. But no, it's actually really well made, and it's kind of cool. I don't know if I'm brainwashing myself into it or not, but like it's comfortable in the hand. Like this thumb spot right here is really nice. Let me try it right-handed and see. Yeah, it's even better right-handed. Get that nice thumb ramp right there. I mean, if you have ridiculously large hands or something, I don't know. I dare say you might like this. I know there's a couple guys in the pass around group that are excited to try this. I mean, it swings shut. It better. Blade weighs as much as the chaser probably does. I mean, look at how thick that stock is. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually having some fun playing with this thing. So, hell yeah, dude. Look at that. I wish I could reach around it. I think my hands are just not big enough, you know, to do it. I'm surprised that jimping is not necessary. Like, it just fires. You don't need jimping. I think it's just because the tab is so fucking huge and obnoxious, and it's curved very nicely. It just works. The lock bar engagement's nice. You can see they added a little chamfer right here, so that was thought out so that you can, you know, get your finger in there, your thumb in there to disengage it. It's got great feel, you know, good acoustics. I mean, damn, it's sick, dude. It's pretty sick. I think it's actually milled out, believe it or not, at 8 ounces or 9 ounces. It is milled out in there. It's just such a big chunk of titanium on both sides that that it just weighs a lot. You know, there's nothing you can do. You can't battle that. It is a flat grind. That would be one concern I'd have, is it's definitely going to be, you know, a thick boy, because, I mean, look at that stock. It's stupid thick. A hollow grind would have been cool, but I don't think this was meant to be a thin slicer. Like, I think it's meant to be a bruiser. My God. Let me see if I can measure the thickness behind the edge. It's going to be like as thick as my house, probably. This thing is great. All right, let's see. Let's get it right behind the edge there. 28 thousandths behind the edge. 27 maybe. Yeah, it's, I mean, that's still like, I mean, I'm pretty sure like a standard Benchmade is like 25, right? Or Spyderco might be like 25. So 28's not bad. I mean, in our neck of the woods, in the knife community, most knives these days are like 15 to 17 probably on average. And if you get a nice hollow grind like this, it could even be like, you know, 12 thousandths behind the edge. I mean, I guess I could measure this. I don't think I have, actually, so who knows? Could be more. Let's see. $11 thousandths. Let's come back here. Closer to the heel, 12. Up near the tip, 18. Yeah, I went way down though. Hold on, yeah. Interesting. Oh, it just thickens up at the tip, or was I off? See, look, I mean, look how far down I am. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm not just behind the edge. It slid a little bit more there. Hold on, let me back up. Anyway, it's it looks like it's around 12. So I would probably be more comfortable saying 15 thousandths maybe. I know the mash we did, the first mash we did in a hollow grind was like, or it was the mash, I think it was the V2. That was 15. So Kubi's getting better and better at that. So somewhere around, let's say 12 to 15 on that guy, you know, and this is 28. So, you know, it's not going to be a slicey hoe, but shout out to my boy Knife Dope. Check out his channel. Let's, I got some paper and cardboard. That's right. I cut stuff around here, and it's going to be slicey. You know why? Because it's sharp. Because Ketuo knows how to make a knife. So it's not like you're going to have trouble if you put a good edge on it. But let's see how it does on cardboard. Because paper, you know, obviously, as long as your edge is sharp, it doesn't really matter. It could be real thick, and it wouldn't matter. Let's see if we can cut this cardboard easily. Okay. What? Why was that so hard? Wait, it was like easy and then it was hard. I think I was against the grain. Oh no, I'm with the grain here. So you can see, with the grain, pretty easy. I mean, I gotta put a little bit of oomph into it, but it's not bad. It's hard to get this, such a small piece to hold it. I don't want to cut my finger. So let me just, yeah. I mean, it definitely takes some effort. It's thick, you know, because your blade gets in there. It's nice and sharp here, but then it's gotta it's gotta fit this whole giant thing through there. So it's just thick, you know what I mean? But it does cut, and if you're used to big chonkers, I think it's gonna be fine. Let me do some size comparisons, and then I'm gonna get you guys out of here. But I'm actually surprised at how much I'm actually enjoying making this video. You know, I was worried. I didn't want to hate on a guy's knife that I really like. But if the style is for you, then I think it's good. You know, I hope that makes sense. So I'm not saying I would buy it. I'm not saying you should buy it if you normally buy knives that I like. But some people like big bruisers, you know? So let's grab that chaser again. I'll show you a comparison. So there's a size comparison. You can tell it is much bigger. The handle is probably really big for the blade, but, you know, we can check that out. So there's the chaser. I don't have a lot of huge knives. You know, I just did a video on the new Primo Jack from Jack Wolf Knives. This is more my style. Let's see. There you go. That's a 3.2 inch blade, I think. You can see how big this is. Here's a larger knife, at least for me. The Jetstream from Tempest Knives. And you can see it dwarfs that. I mean, the blade length isn't that crazy. It's just the overall knife is just obnoxious, you know. You can see the thickness. Here's a knife that I would consider thick. Ah! Sorry, dropping stuff. I got a whole table of stuff I need to open for you guys. It's just been a little bit crazy. So anyway, here's the Bastide Ankylo. Because of this lock, they tend to be thick. I do really like this knife, but it is rather thick. Still not even close. You know, I don't think I can line it up properly for you guys, but maybe if I do it this way, close them. Right? I don't think I measured it, actually. Let's measure the thickness of the handle. Might need 2 calipers. 0.79. 0.79. You did not hear that wrong. 0.79, dude. You got... I love it. All right. Guys, this is the Soulstone from Ketuo and Doom. And I gotta say, it's kind of cool, guys. Let's check the hardware. Is this? It's probably a T10, right? No, I think it's a T8. Let me check. It might be a T10. What's this? A 15? Nope, it's a 10. Let's check that. Yeah, I thought it would be. Let's see if it loosens easily. No, it's Loctite. I was gonna say maybe I'd do a disassembly for you guys to see the inside of this chunker. Well, let's see if I can get in there easily. Oh. Okay, let's do it. Let's see the inside of the Soulstone. That name is great. Whoops. I'm probably going to need that anyway. All right, so T10 on the pivot. I'm guessing not going to fit a 10 in here. Huh, okay. T10, T8 on this body screw. There's a giant barrel in there, I guess. Whoops. Don't scratch your knife when you do things. I don't think I did. All right, I don't see any other screws, so there's only 2 screws. That seems crazy. There must be a lot of pins. No? Whoa. I see. Dude. Cool detail. Guys. That is a sweet structural detail there that we're going to talk about. So they have frog lube in here. So you know how the blade was just swinging down? That's very rare for a knife with this shit in there. They put this frog lube in there because it's better for, you would use it on something like washers, but because this knife is so big, the blade is so heavy, if you actually clean this up and used like KPL, the blade would just be like, probably. So they're using frog lube. I don't know if you guys want to see it. I'll tune it up, show you what I mean. I could probably even fit multi-row skiffs in here just for shiz and gigs. Let's do it. Oh man, I hate frog lube with a passion. That shit is just disgusting. All right, first up, let me just clean these. We might have to reuse them, but these look huge. I'm pretty sure we're gonna fit 18 ball multi-rows in here. It's probably a 6mm pivot. We're gonna get to all that, so let's just see. Really cool construction. They have a double screw here. It's gonna be a T6, I think. Yeah. So you're gonna be looking at a T6 for the insert screw, and you're gonna be looking at what looks to be a T6 for the clip screw as well. So you need 3 bits to take this knife fully apart, but if you're just doing what I'm doing, you only need 2. And you could actually get away with a T8 probably on that pivot if you needed to, if that's all you had. But you definitely want to use the right bit. But the really cool thing that I noticed is you know how I said there's going to be a bunch of pins in here to help the structure? Well, what they did instead was they put this giant, what would you, polygon? What is this? Just a trapezoid? I don't know. It's a coat hanger. It's a triangle with rounded edges. It's a geometric shape. They put just that in there. So you don't have to have all these pins, but you have a real thick, long pin, basically. That's going to hold it together nice and tight and keep everything from, shifting. Because I was worried there if you had just that screw and that screw for this giant, thick thing. But no, they thought that out really well. That's on the backspacer. I assume it's on both sides. I don't know if I can get this off easily. Oh, I can. And yep, it's on both sides. So you just slot that in. It makes it nice and easy. What is that? Oh, look at that. Did it not get coated in there? Or is there something on there? Look at this. See that? The underside of that lanyard spot. It's almost like, it almost looks like some kind of glue or something, doesn't it? Let me get in there with something and see what happens. Oh, it's frog lube. I was like, wait, it didn't get coated in there? Look, that was just frog lube that came out. Yeah, you could fit a pretty big lanyard in there. Oh, wait, this is just a backspacer too. Oh my God. It's like, this thing is as thick as this knife, I think. Nah, not quite. But it's crazy. It's got the Ketuo logo there. This thing's pretty cool. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Thank goodness. I really was hoping that this would be good in a sense. You know what I mean? It is good. It's a good knife. It's made well. It's just the design. If you don't like the design, that's fair. I am with you. No offense to Doom. It's perfect for him. But it's not my style, obviously. But the knife is extreme quality. Great job. And something being ridiculous like this, it's literally perfect for the guy who designed it. And pretty sure that's exactly what he was going for. And he was probably looking for the reaction that he's getting from me. So there you go. Okay, so what's going to happen here is things are going to loosen up quite a bit. This is going to be a 6mm pivot, I think. Unless it's like huge, but I doubt it. Nope, 6mm. Look at that fucking pivot, dude. That's ridiculous. Oh, that's going to fall. Sorry, I'm trying not to like reach through the... Okay, let's clean this first. So I'm just going to drop a cloth on top of it that has alcohol on it. And I'm going to take the T8, because that's the smallest one I have, out. Just drive that in. I'm not going to be able to get all the way through that pivot because it's abnormally friggin' huge. but that'll help me get out any of the Loctite residue or whatever. You could even do this. Take your cloth, lay it down, spray a little alcohol in there, because you don't want oil in there, especially if you're going to use Loctite. I might glue it depending on how this goes, but even with glue, like, you don't want oil inside your pivot, because that'll make it hard to get that Loctite to cure. If you've ever put a knife together and Loctited it and then it doesn't hold, and it happens multiple times, you're just pissed off at the knife. It's not the knife's fault. It's just there's oil somewhere in there. You got to clear all that out. But you can put a little bit of oil in there, and then, or alcohol in there, and then take a can of air like this and just blow it out. And watch your face. Wear glasses or something, because obviously it's going to come firing out of there. All right. That was through here, right? I think. You can see the D shape, I think, was at the top there. Am I crazy? Was this not the... Was it in here? Well, it fits in there, and then it's probably going to... Yep, it was on this side. And then it slots into that D shape at the top there. You'll see. All right, we got everything pretty much done here. I just need to see if the bearings fit. So 6mm, and then it's going to be 1/16, but I'll just show you 1/16 ball. Now, this is where people get in trouble. They go to Skip's website and they check the size. They found out that it's 6mm 1/16. And then they just order the first ones they see. But there's actually 3 sizes. So here's the 16 ball, 6mm 1/16, 16 ball. 6mm 1/16, 18 ball. 6mm 1/16, 13 ball. There's 3 sizes. Plus washers, so there's technically, they have 4 things on their website that would fit. So what most people will do is just order the first one, which I think ends up being this one, the 18 ball. And in most knives, they don't fit. They're too big. So if you want to be certain that they're going to fit, get the 13 ball, because they'll fit no matter what. They're just going to be a little small probably for the pocket. But that doesn't matter. As long as they fit around the pivot, that's what's important. Now, I want to see if I can fit these 18 ball ones, and now it's starting to look like they won't fit. So look at that. They're just a little too big, unfortunately. So, luckily, I have the 16 ball version, which will fit right in that pocket perfectly. So we can fit multi-rows in here. We're only going to get 3 extra balls, but let's count how many are on here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. 10 balls. So if you got the 13 ball, you'd be adding 3 balls per bearing, 6 total in the knife. That's nice. If you get the 16 ball, we're adding 6 per bearing, 12 extra balls into the knife, which is awesome. So that's what we're going to attempt to do here. That means I need to order some more 16 ball ones. All right, get some looby. I use KPL. You can pick it up at knifepivotlube.com. Use my code LeftyEDC, I think, for that one. Get 10% off. A lot of people use other stuff. I've really enjoyed KPL since I've started using it. I don't know. I haven't tested a bunch of other stuff, so I can't tell you if other stuff is better, but what I love about KPL is it keeps the gunk and shit that comes off in suspension, so it doesn't make your knife all gritty, even when it's dirty, which is nice. I can feel these bearings are a little bit tight, so the balls need to loosen up a little bit. It usually does not matter. Once it's in the knife, it'll be fine, but I like to try to free it up when I'm getting that lube on. The best thing you could do is notice it before you put lube on, and then spray alcohol on the bearing and do this. Clean it all off. and you can get those balls rolling, and that'll really help. But I did not notice it right away, so I'm doing it with the lube, and it's working. But it would definitely be easier to do it with the bearing. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you. So I'm going to clean this off. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you feel your balls, like if you try to, you got to hold it lightly and then try to roll them around. And if they're not rolling like super free, like these have been in another knife, I think, or they're just, you know, they've been around a while. I just spray them with alcohol like that. Flip it, spray it. Oh, sorry. Spray both sides, get it nice and juiced up, and then roll it in your fingers. And what that's doing is getting that alcohol in the little bearing holes, and it's freeing up anything that could be in there, gunking up our action, which seems like there's something in there. Oh, there we go. I think we broke free. I can like feel something. I don't know what it is. Might have just been the edge of the cage or something. Feels a little sharp. Do that one more time with this one. This one just, I don't know. Just feels a little interesting. There it is. Okay. Now it's all freed up. No, wait. Except for down here. I think I'm just feeling the cage. I think the cage is just a little rough on this one. Okay, I'm going to take the other one. This one feels fine already, actually. And I'm just going to roll this one around a little bit. Yeah, that one's free and clear. So I actually don't think this has been in a knife, because usually it'll smooth them out, actually, when they're in a knife. So they're good now. So what I'm going to do now is dry them, obviously. Just dry them off real quick. It's rubbing alcohol. It's not going to stay on there very long. Get it off my hands, because my hands have been dry as shit. That definitely did not help. All right. Back to the lube. We'll put a bunch of lube on our fingers and roll these around. Oh, yeah. Now they're nice and lubed up. Okay. And we'll place that on there. Drop the blade on. Big old sucker. And take the other one. Do the same thing. Drop that sucker on there. All right. Check for rotation. Yep. Clean my hand again. All right. Now we just want to have that pivot straight up. Like that. So that D shape can pop into this D, if you know what I mean. And line everything up. Like so. Take our pivot. Actually, let me put in this body screw real quick. I'm going to drop that body screw in and just tighten it a little bit to give me some. There we go. So now everything's tight. I didn't clean this, so grab this cloth with the alcohol, grab my T10, and you can see there's a bunch of gunk on there. So you definitely want to clean your pivot screws, especially if you're going to Loctite. All right, drop this in. You can probably thread it by hand a little bit because it's such a big knife. It's easy enough. All right. Tighten that down. Grab the T8. Tighten this down. All right. Uh-oh. Oh my God. How many of you guys are screaming? Sorry, I'm a little sick today, actually. I'm on some Advil cold and sinus, and oh my God, I put the blade in backwards. Look at that. Can't believe it actually like just went together, no problem. I'm over here like, yeah, you know, just do this, do that. Don't listen to me, guys, that's for sure. So, easy fix though. I'm just gonna pop this off and flip everything over. Jeez, Kev. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting, boy. So, put your blade on the correct way. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, at least we got a laugh, huh? So, put that on. I did flip the washers over because with multi-row bearings, you're going to have a different track. And if you can, it's always good to do that. Some knives, you don't have the option, and then you just don't have the option. But probably going to cut myself here on the hand, but that's okay. Slide this in place. Get that little trapezoid to pop into place. Whoa, there we go. Okay, now that the blade is actually in the correct orientation, I'm gonna tighten this pivot down and we'll see how the action is. I was like, wait, the action's messed up, guys. It should be just like free balling because it's so heavy and it's not even closing. That's because you had the blade in backwards there, bud. Okay, centering is perfect. No problem. Let's see if we can flick it. We can flick it. Lock up. Looks good. A little bit of grab there. I'll clean that. And we're swinging. Let me put this away. Grab some Q-tips here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put any oil on the detent ball. It's right there. So I can reach it. Definitely not thinking straight, that's for sure. Put a little oil on your Q-tip and find that detent ball. You can see it there. Just plop that oil on there. And then do not start instantly opening and closing your knife. What you want to do is disengage it. Hold that lock bar like this. Just put a little pressure on it, not a lot, so you can ride that detent ball a little bit. It can close, no problem, but don't open it all the way. Just let it hit where the detent ball jumps onto the lock bar. Now I'm transferring any oil onto that lock bar that is going to be transferred, but I'm not opening it all the way and letting it jump onto the lock bar here where that oil is going to end up. You'll see what I mean in a second. So I'll do this. It's going to help wear the detent track. If you put a little pressure with your thumb, that's good. Just try to let go when you get to this part so you don't, pop the detent ball out or something. Okay, close it. Then you're going to look here and you're going to see oil. Usually, you'll see oil on the blade tang. And I see a lot. See that? So you take your Q-tip, get all that up out of there. You could even use rubbing alcohol to make sure you get it. And I'm going to do that because I had that little bit of grab, which was not there, by the way, when I took it apart. So I know I added something. So just cleaning that off with alcohol. Then we're going to give it a good flick open. Let that alcohol transfer over to the lock bar. And then let it kind of dry out the oil. And we're going to have probably a little stick. Nope, barely anything. With new bearings. Ouch. Whew. With new bearings that aren't broken in. And the pivot's tightened all the way. The blade is very smooth. I really expected it to just free fall, but maybe it needs to break in a little bit, or maybe I just went, maybe it's just too tight. And it was pretty tight. Ugh, I'm on the lock bar. Ooh, that fires. Let's see what happens here. There it goes. So it's not free balling the way I expected it to without the frog lube, but definitely going to drop more. And once those bearings break in, it's probably going to get crazy. But there's no lash. The action is phenomenal. And there's no play at all. And it's swinging. I mean, look at that. So what I'm going to do, because it's probably going to be easier, is just glue it. And you'll see why. I'm going to remove this. And then I'm going to put it back in and tighten it just to see what happens with a quick tighten. Down to tight, dead centered, fires, no play or anything, no movement. Action's great, so I don't need to finesse it. If I go a little tight, like that, the only thing that happens is it's a little bit less drop shut, but it's not like too tight. So this is a perfect candidate for super glue. So I'm going to take my cloth. I don't know how I turned this into a 40-minute video, but I did. Classic. All right. And then I'm going to take my super glue. In your case, you're probably going to take Loctite if you're not crazy like I am. The tooling's not super deep, so it's hard to hold it on the bit, but I'm going to try. I'm just going to get a little bit here. You don't need a lot. Yeah, it's a big knife. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make a difference. Just put a little bit on there. Okay. I'm going to drop it in here. Do it this way. And then I'm going to take my driver, get it in there, and start threading. Make sure you don't cross thread. Tighten it down. We are tight. We're dead centered. No play of any kind. We're still slinging down. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Let's see, maybe I can tighten it a little bit. Not really. Fires. Yes, yeah, action's just going to keep getting better and better with the skips. Now I'm just going to wait a second. Honestly, you probably want to wait 10 minutes maybe with the super glue. Yes, in about 30 seconds, it's pretty much done. But I always like to wait a little bit just to be safe. But the nice thing about super glue is you don't have to wait 2 days like you do with Loctite. I mean, sometimes I get away with overnight, but really you should wait 48 hours. I'm going to put this in the box so that people know I put skips in it. Clean all this up here. Then I'm going to finish this video up with you guys. Okay. Wipe the handle down. And this is the Ketuo Knives Soulstone, designed by the Beard of Doom, Kevin Toole. Let me know what you guys think. Are you a fan of this knife? Do you think it's ridiculous like I do? I think it's crazy thick. I think it's a chunker. You know, it's not really aesthetically appealing to me at all. But there's something about it. It's nicely made, and it's just ridiculous. So I'm not gonna lie, like I said I wouldn't. I like it. I can't believe it. I like it. Good job, Kev. I'm glad you got something like this out there in the world. That feels right, you know? And good job to Ketuo, and thank you to Ketuo for sending this my way, and this will be passed around. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, it's 6mm 1/16 16 ball bearings for anybody looking to throw skiffs in there. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.